When the sky darkens and hails cover the world, fire will follow. When the earth trembles and flames erupt from the face and fold, hails will follow. For such is the way world follows its form, unbending, uncompromising, unwilling to change and grow. So imagine, if you will, a being that holds the allegiance to these secrets of old, with fire and cold both stringing to its soul. When the need gets heavy, a wizard is born. Hello, I'm the Holy Hermit, and I'm here to present you something so special that I humbly believe you have never seen before. At its very core, all it is a wizard build. Now that should be something to pique one's curiosity, as in the world of Diablo 3, there stands as of this very moment only two wizard builds. One ever so fragile in the form of CM Wizard, and other ever so common in the shape of an Archon Wiz. But what if I tell you I have a build that makes the wizard tank elites and other monsters at monster power 10 and annihilate them in a quick fashion that is true to the wizard alone? You will kill mobs and elites at a heightened rate. Everything will get outshined or obliterated by your wizard. No frantic button presses, no holding down the right mouse click, but following the gameplay that suits the wizard in its ever so remarkable form. So without further ado, I bring to you a build of Ice and Fire. Part 1 of this video will cover the gear requirements one need to attain in order to get this build working. So would you like to know the secret then? It's not about stacking the ever so expensive combination of attack speed and critical hit chance. As I said earlier, this is not a CM build. All you need here is a black weapon with life leech. The quality of this weapon depends on you alone. If you have enough gold, try an Echoing Fury. Otherwise, a nice rare will do the job here. The first great thing about this build relies in the low cost of making this Ice and Fire wizard. Even an Echoing Fury with lifesteal will be cheaper compared to other sister builds. But if you still hold high attack speed gear with critical hit chance or high critical hit damage gear with critical hit chance, this build will still work at full efficiency. Another final requirement from your gear comes in the form of arcane power on crit and max arcane power. For this very reason, I personally use Triumvirate because of the sheer cost effectiveness. You are free to try others that can enhance your abilities. Offhands that grant you a bonus to your Meteor, Blizzard and Spectral Hate would be particularly useful here. Freedom is what this build grants you, something that is dearly missed in the form of other wizard builds. In case you're wondering now, it's not going to work like an Archon Wizard, but a build of Ice and Fire. In this part of the video, we will cover the build itself. So here is my secret to you. Carrying on the promise I made earlier, you will have choices available to you. I will recommend my personal build style, but feel free to change the runes if you wish so. Your primary attack comes in the form of Spectral Blades with healing aspect. 5% of that lifesteal combined with a lifesteal weapon makes you a force to be reckoned with. But rest assured, you will not lose any effective DPS here, but in fact do more damage just by understanding the essence in which this build works. Meteor with Molten Impact is our primary damage dealer on Elite. A variation here would be Meteor Shower for elevated crowd control. Diamond Skin with those deadly shards to give you a breathing room and to obliterate those who dare to attack the wizard. If one lacks arcane power on crit, a nice alternative is Prism to cast your abilities ever so more often. Frost Nova with Bone Chill. When enemies get frozen, they succumb to wizard and take more damage. Deep Freeze is a good alternative here if you're after high DPS or lack some critical hit chance. Blizzard with Frozen Solid to freeze enemies even before they dare to attack you, and your final skill comes in the form of Ice Armor, something that is ignored by many, but the rune Crystallize hardens the will of wizard, granting a total of 60% armor bonus that can help in survival, even in the case of those charging beasts and those grotesque monsters. The passives all contribute to damage sustaining over a longer duration. So Cold-Blooded, for when enemies get frozen, they take more damage. Conflagration does the same job here, especially if one uses Meteor Shower. An alternative here would be glass cannon if you hold high vitality and enough armor. And finally, critical mass for the cooldowns associated with your Frost Nova and Diamond Skin. This is the build for you. A lot of choices can be made to skills where advised. But for now, let's move on and understand the fiery heart of this frozen build. Part 3 covers the in-depth analysis of build usage. Here I explain on how to use the build. So my first remark is about the skill usage altogether. This is not a CM build, so one does not need to spam the skills. Unlike the CM Wiz, a player can easily be surrounded by mobs of enemies and elites and do damage just by the way your primary skill would work. So the first secret mentioned earlier is in the form of survivability that comes from up to 8% life leech on your character. Ice armor with Crystallize has the potential to take your armor to upwards of 5.5k, making you harder to scratch, let alone kill. Now that is truly something new to the wizard, as they are considered to be very squishy. Damage dealing aspect of the build comes from using Blizzard on enemies. It deals an astounding amount of damage over time and therefore does not require the player to spam the skill. Similar effect applies to Meteor here, where one cast is enough to deal damage for 3 seconds or so. No need to spam, just relax and enjoy the build. But what if the enemies get closer to you, try to take you down? Diamond skill will save one's hide here, along with Frost Nova. A skill that can be used offensively and defensively at the same time. I can now promise you another thing. No matter how many mobs surround you, a combination of Spectral Blades with Frost Nova and Diamond Skin will make you into a mortal being that will simply refuse to die. The way enemies are to be approached is by always casting a blizzard over them, then approaching them head on and meeting them with Frost Nova. What comes next is a powerful meteor soaring from the skies, killing everything where it willfully lands. Passives also contribute to the overwhelming DPS. Cold-blooded and conflagration makes enemy takes more damage. Same applies for Frost Nova. Once the enemies are marked by the chill and heat of your build, their doom is inevitable. If one needs a bit of health, no need to run for glows or potions. Simply attack with Spectral Blades and you will be on full health in just a few seconds. On the opposite end, if you wish to obliterate your enemies in a split second, lead on with a blizzard, cast your Diamond Skin and use Frost Nova, and then destroy everything with your Meteor. And yes, don't forget to use your Ice Armor if you wish to survive those explosions and charges from the monsters. So I hope you enjoyed this video of mine. Such is our build. Give it a go and enjoy the change that makes your wizard feel like a true astral being. This has been the Holy Hermit for you. Subscribe if this video made some sense to you. Leave a comment and share your experience with the rest of us. Other than that, wait till the day when sky gets dark and a rain of fire shall inherit the earth. That's too far away now. Just enjoy your cup of tea and keep farming.